Good evening, Pon Rahayu. My name is Hiroshin Tamilarasu. My matrix number is 06DAT23F1102 and I'm from Group 2. I'm going to present about Chapter 5, which is about documentation and sampling. Before I begin with my today's presentation, let me introduce my honorable teammates. Hiroshin Tamilarasu, which is me, Dhiran, Andisri, Mithika, and by Trisha. Audit documentation. According to ISA 230, which is International Standard on Auditing 230, defines as the record of auditing procedures performed, relevant audit evidence obtained, and conclusions the auditor reached. There are two types of files, which is permanent file and current file. Permanent file is a set of records that serves as an ongoing reference for an organization's external auditors. The information in the file is intended to be accessed repeatedly in successive audit to assist the audit team in the conduct of their task. Meanwhile, current file has significant importance in the audit progress. This type of file is maintained by the auditor, in which the auditor keeps the working paper relating to a single accounting period. A current audit file contains information regarding audit conducted for the current period. The content in the current file is audit program, working trial balance, schedules and analysis, propose adjusting and reclassifying entries, audit memoranda, and corroborating information.
Selamat sejahtera Puan, nama saya Mithika dan Puan Shanmugam. Nombor matrik saya 06DAT23F1017. Sekarang saya nak bentang tentang importance of audit working paper. Importance of audit working paper. Number 1, importance of audit WP. Number 2, content of audit WP ISA 230. Number 3, format audit WP. Number 4, organization and review of audit WP. Number 5, ownership of audit WP. Thank you. Audit program, a set of directions that the auditor need to follow for the proper execution of the audit. Working trial balance. Working in a trial balance involves verifying and organizing financial data to ensure accuracy before preparing financial statements. It includes listing all ledger accounts with their debit and credit balance to confirm they match. If discrepancies exist, adjustments are made to correct errors. Schedule and analysis. A schedule in a trial balance group's account for easy review. Analysis checks for errors and unusual balance to ensure accuracy. This helps in preparing financial statements and making adjustments. Thank you. Audit working paper review process. Number 1, preparation. Auditors document findings, procedures, and evidence to support the audit process. This ensures all necessary financial data is recorded properly. Number 2, review. Senior auditors examine the working papers for accuracy, completeness, and compliance with audit standards to identify any errors or gaps. Number 3, correction and feedback. Errors or missing details are corrected and additional information is added based on the reviewer feedback to improve clarity and accuracy. Number 4, final approval. Once reviewed and corrected, the working papers are approved, ensuring they are reliable for audit conclusions and financial reporting. Thank you.
Hi Madam, my name is Nandisri Sankaralingam. My matrix number is 06DAT23F1011. I'm going to present about changes to audit file. They have two types. First, financial data updates. They have 3. Adjustment for errors, reclassification, and the last will be updating estimates. The second is compliance and documentation, regulatory updates, supporting documents, and audit trail enhancement. Ownership of working papers. Ownership of audit working papers typically belongs to the auditor or the audit firm that conduct the audit. These documents are considered the auditor's property as they contain the auditor's analysis, judgments, and procedure performed during the audit. Audit sampling. Audit sampling as defined in ISA 530, the application of audit procedure to less than 100% of items within a population of audit relevant such that all sampling units have chance of selection in order to provide the auditor with a reasonable basis on which to draw conclusions about the entire population.
Yes, my name is Dhiren and my metric number is 06D823F1023. Today I am going to present about audit sampling process. There are 4 sampling process. The first one is nature of sampling. Second one is sampling approaches. Third one is sampling risk. Fourth one is sampling for audit tests. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the sampling approaches. There are 2 sampling approaches. The first one is statistical sampling and the second one is non-statistical sampling. Okay, statistical sampling. First one, random selection of items and use of probability theory to evaluate results. Second one is allows each sampling units to stand an equal chance of selection. Third one is random selection. Fourth one is systematic selection. Fifth one is monitoring unit. So for the non-statistical sampling is first one, selection of samples based on characteristic or attributes that are established by the auditor. Second one is wholly dependent on the auditor's judgment. Third one is haphazard selection. Fourth one is block selection. Okay, now I'm going to present about types of statistical sampling. The first statistical sampling is random selection. In a simple random sample, every item of the population has an equal chance of being selected. To conduct this type of sampling, auditor use tools like random number table or random number generators or other techniques that are based entirely on chance. The second one is systematic selection. The method divides the number of sampling units within a population into the sample size to generate a sampling interval. The starting point for the sampling can be generated randomly, but ISA 530 recognizes that it is more likely to be truly random if the use of random number generators or random number tables are used. The third one is monetary unit sampling selection. Selecting items based on monetary values, usually focusing on higher value items, defines the sampling unit as an individual RM in an account balance, selects transaction or accounts ledger with larger amounts.
Okay, my name is Nuraina Batusha binti Mufal Irwan. My matrix number is 0608023F1020. Now I will present the sampling risk and non-sampling risk. So sampling risk is the risk that the auditor's conclusion based on a sample may be different from the conclusion if the entire population were the subject of the same audit procedures. For non-sampling risk, risk that auditor give inappropriate document not related to sampling risk. Example of course, auditor misinterpreted audit evidence due to lack of knowledge, limited time, or other factor. Auditor poorly design audit process. Okay, the next one is sampling for test of control, attribute sampling, and sampling for substantive test, probability proportional to size. Attribute sampling is select sample based on specific attributes or characteristics. Example of attributes: to verify authorization procedure for payment to supplier, to examine the segregation of duties. At the end, auditor needs to conclude whether ICS clients affected or not. Sampling for subjective test probability proportional to size is subjective test is conducted on transactions or on account balances. Probability proportional to size is sampling design that divides a population into smaller segments to enable an auditor to choose the sample for each segment, also known as MUS. Probability proportional to size ensures that every unit has the same chance of being selected. And the last one is finding of audit testing. Tests of control. These are used to evaluate the effectiveness of a company's internal control. For example, approval processes, segregation of duties, and others. Example, checking whether all purchases orders are properly authorized. And the subjective control, these are used to detect material misstatements in the financial statements. They are further divided into tests of details. That's all from me, and that's all from our group. Thank you, and see you again.